Hey there, Magic Jin here. I actually had a lot of hope for this week's free game. So far, only one of the 3 free games I had reviewed was any good. And I gotta tell ya, it's not looking good for this one. When you click New Game in the main menu, it immediately starts you off with a relatively low volume cutscene with some cryptic lore that doesn't really bear any significance. After creating your character, you're thrown into a lobby area. This is where you'll spend a decent amount of your game. Half of the dialogue takes place here, but we'll get to that in a second. As soon as you actually start the game, you're immediately bombarded with a large amount of convoluted tutorials.
Holy shit. What am I looking at?
Every mission is preceded by huge chunks of boring and uncomfortable dialogue, and all while very loud music is playing in the background. Seriously, the music never shuts up in this game. Where most games have dynamic soundtracks, this game just plays rock music non-stop, regardless of what's going on in the story.
Okay, I admit it. Dev is more of a hero than I am. It's all about getting up close and using his...
Now, after we sat through all those awful tutorials and awkward dialogue segments, it must be time for the good stuff, right? We can now finally jump into the gameplay, right? If there's so much to talk about and explain, it must be really good, right? Oh dear lord. The gameplay consists of a few features. You can shoot with your right mouse button, enable your shield with your left mouse button, which does absolutely nothing by the way. Seriously, the shield doesn't do anything. Your jetpack makes it so you can basically fly everywhere. It's like you're in Minecraft creative mode. This isn't necessarily a bad thing. Being able to fly everywhere could make for interesting combat with lots of strategy, right? Right? Oh boy, I wish it was like that. After flying around and shooting things for a couple of minutes, I realized something. This game has aim assist, and a lot of it in fact. This made it so that when the final boss, the real big baddie of the level, finally came out, I was able to beat him without moving. I was able to fly in the same place and continually shoot the damn thing. This went on for 3 whole minutes. Well, what about the dialogue? Well, most of it is unnatural and clunky. The AI that is talking for the majority of the game is straight out of the uncanny valley. The rest of the characters aren't any better.
Wish you good luck. If you fight as a stalwart agent of justice, I will not need to enter the fray. That, in turn, would entitle you to my share of the reward.
Deal! I'll do my part.
With long pauses between sentences, and most dialogue feeling like it's just there to tell you about basic gameplay, you get almost no value out of any conversation, so I recommend skipping them altogether if you can. So I've been shitting in the game for quite a while now, but I don't want to end the video on a negative tone. So, let's talk about some of the good stuff. And yeah, the game has mostly positive reviews on Steam, so it must not all be bad, right? Although most dialogue feels strange and unnatural, there are some moments during missions where characters talk, which can be quite interesting. I like the idea more than the execution, but it's definitely one of the better parts of the game. The character create menu is pretty cool, but even the better looking options still look pretty dumb. And that's it. That's all I have to say about the game. I think a decent amount of what I have to say are of course subjective, so keep that in mind in case you ever decide to play it. That being said, I give this game a 4 out of 10. I hope you join me next week, where we review Yooka-Laylee and the Impossible Lair. Or maybe I'll see you sooner, if I manage to get a video out before that time. With all that out of the way, goodbye!